Welcome to Storytime&Crafts with me, Karasu. I'm going to be doing technically my first Flosstube. I'm a little bit scared and excited all at the same time. More scared at this point because I normally stop my cross stitching and knitting when the weather gets warm, but where I live right now, we had kind of an Indian summer of a week of nice warm weather, and then all of a sudden we have snow on the ground again. So let me get started with technically the first couple things that I have been working on the past couple weeks. I will hopefully be putting in pictures from my whip parade for when I started these cross stitch and knitting, because those are the two things I have right now that I've been working on. So the first one that I did was worked on, at least, is a Pokemon, which is Pikachu and a sakura tree or a cherry tree. I already had this part completed, and I've started to work over here. So let me fold this guy up a little bit. I just decided that I was going to start at the bottom and start working. So I have been doing just that. During January's 24 hours of cross stitch weekend, I ended up getting into this and I just kept going. So I have 3 rows of 10 squares high done, and this goes all the way across. I had a few over here on Pikachu I hadn't finished, and it's like, well, I'll just make sure it's done all the way across. And I ended up getting up into here, and as you can probably tell, I got tired, and I put in a couple stitches that are the wrong color. I said, to heck with it, let's see what it looks like when it's done. I'm not going to go back if I don't have to, and that's what makes it mine. So this guy is, I think, 18 count Ada. All of a sudden, after my husband stopped playing one of his games, I don't remember which one, I stopped working on this and switched to a different one. I tend to do that whenever he moves from one place to another, so do I. Now, the next one that I was working on was a geisha and her book. The next one I started working on is the geisha and her book. I was able to do a lot. I completed her book and even getting some of the pages in between her two hands and stuff. This gal is a 14 count Ada, and I do it 2 over 1, sorry. I think Pikachu, if I didn't say, is a 3 over 1. Since I do it by hand, it's a lot bulkier. But these guys are such small stitches, I just went, yeah. I haven't put it in a hoop yet because I'm working around the bottom, which I tend to hold it like this, so having a hoop and fighting with it, I just don't bother. And those are the 2 that I've been working on for my cross stitch at this point. Then I have my knitting, and I don't like taking pictures. I will say that right out now. I did actually finish my skirt that I was working on. If you've seen my last whip in chat, even if you haven't been able to hear it, that skirt that I was working on, and that I actually finished it. So I will put up a picture if I can get good lighting on it of me actually wearing it, but it's a knee-length skirt. I loved working on this. I mean, I didn't bother with a pattern or anything. I started to go into a rib stitch up around the top, realized when I was done with that it was too big, so I got out my crochet hook and created this waistband. And right now, because I don't have anything to put in it to actually pull it tight, I just got some shoelaces. I got a couple extra pairs in the house. This comes to about my knees, so I love it. It's warm. I don't have to wear leggings all the time. I don't have to wear jeans. I don't like jeans unless I'm outside of the house working. So I'm a skirts and dress girl at home. But since I got this done, my husband asked me to make him a sweater. I have never used a pattern for knitting. Greta, stop. I have my little helper. She's trying to butt in. I have never used a pattern when it comes to knitting. I've never made a sweater, any sweatshirt, whatever you want to call it. So this is my first time trying one. I've been kind of going head over heels with it. This is a free pattern that I found online. And this is the front bottom or back bottom, since the front and back panels are the exact same. I went and got the cheapest yarn that he would deal with the color. So this is the color I got. I don't know if it shows up very well. It's a muted green. Hey, they don't want to see your butt. My crafting partner, Greta, she's being a little butthead right now, and of course doesn't like me filming. She never does. So this is going to be an experiment for me, since I've never done an actual sweater. So this will be fun. I will try to remember to put the link down in the description box of where I found the pattern for it. It is free, so it's a basic. I didn't have to learn any stitches. It's just knitting and purling. I did have to figure out how to add stitches, which I've never actually done before, so something new. And that's all I have for my cross stitch and my knitting at this point. I've been kind of going bonkers on the knitting. I do a couple of hours a day on it whenever I get up in the morning. That's how I wake my brain up, is knitting, even though it's kind of mindless at this point. Oh well, it gives my coffee time to percolate. So hopefully you guys have a great day, and I hope you enjoy. Please, if you want to keep track of my floss tubes and my journey, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and if you like what you guys see, go ahead and hit that like button. Thank you guys, and see you next time.